Yes, Prabhuji. It was the same over here, Janmashtami and then Radhashtami. So we just felt that we should. But last time we have never stopped so long. So for me, it was just out of sync. Anyway, okay, let us start while, as others will join in. Thank you for
Yeah.
giving us your time, Prabhuji. And joining us, please accept our Dandavat Pranam from everybody who have joined and are about to join or will see this video recording later on. I can start with the Manglacharan, Prabhuji.
Yes, yes.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurulmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaivam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasa Tato Jayam Udirate Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Hare Krishna, we are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on chapter 2. Canto 2, chapter 9, verse 33. Chapter 9 is the answers by citing the Lord's version. Prabhuji, can I hand over to you for text 30?
Yes, Mataji. So
Krishna.
you're all aware that from text 33 to text 36 are the root verses of the entire Bhagavatam. And this is the first verse. It's good to learn this verse, even the Sanskrit. Aham eva sham evagare nanyad yat sat asat param paschat aham yad etatcha yo vyashisheta soshmi aham. Translation: Brahma, it is I. The personality of Godhead was existing before the creation, when there was nothing but myself. Nor was there the material nature, the cause of this creation. That which you see now is also I, the personality of Godhead. And after annihilation, what remains will also be I, the personality of Godhead. So in simple language, we should understand that Krishna is speaking to Brahma. So try to understand the verse. The verse says, that when there was nothing, I was there. When everything is there, I am here. And when nothing will be there, I'll still be there. And in this particular verse, the word I is 3 times, past, present, and future. So, Bhagavatam, if you read Bhagavatam, entire Bhagavatam, it actually has all the evidence that God, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is a person, and that is Krishna. That is the meaning of entire Bhagavatam. So we'll be going to the second last paragraph of this chapter. It starts with the word in some of the Vedas. Kritika Mataji, can you read it?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, can I read the verse before that? I mean, the paragraph before that as well?
Yes, yes.
In the Brihad Aranka Upanishada 1.4.1, there is a hymn, Atma Vedam Agra Asit Purusho Vidha. This mantra indicates the Supreme Personality of Godhead even before the appearance of Purusha incarnation. In the Bhagavad Gita 15.18, it is said the Lord Krishna is Purushottam because he is the Supreme Purush, transcendental even to the Purusha of the Akshara and the Purusha Akshara. The Akshara Purusha or the Mahavishnu throws his glance over the Prakriti or material nature, but the Purushottam existed even before that. The Brihad Arangyaka Upanishada therefore confirms the statement of Bhagavad Gita that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Person Purushottama. In some of the Vedas, it is also said that in the beginning only the impersonal Brahman existed. However, according to this verse, the impersonal Brahma, which is the glowing effulgence of the body of the Supreme Lord, may be called the immediate cause, but the cause of all causes or the remote cause is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord's impersonal feature is existent in the material world because by material senses or material eyes, the Lord cannot be seen or perceived. One has to spiritualize the senses before one can expect to see or perceive the Supreme Lord. But he's always engaged in his personal capacity, and he's eternally visible to the inhabitants of Vaikuntha Loka, eye to eye. Therefore, he is materially impersonal, just as the executive head of the state may be impersonal in the government offices, although he is not impersonal in the government house. Similarly, the Lord is not impersonal in his abode, while he is always nirashka kuhakam, as stated in the very beginning of the Bhagavatam. Therefore, both the impersonal and the personal features of the Lord are acceptable, as mentioned in the revealed scriptures. The personality of Godhead is very emphatically explained in the Bhagavad Gita in connection with the verse Brahmano hi parakshitaham, Bhagavad Gita 14.27. Therefore, in all ways, the confidential part of the spiritual knowledge is realization of the personality of Godhead and not his impersonal Brahman feature. One should therefore have his ultimate aim of realization not in the impersonal feature, but in the personal feature of the absolute truth. The example of the sky within the pot and the sky outside the pot may be helpful to the student for his realization of the all-pervading quality of the cosmic consciousness of the absolute truth. But that does not mean that the individual part and parcel of the Lord becomes the supreme by the false claim. It means only that the conditioned soul is a victim of illusionary energy in her last snare. To be one with the cosmic consciousness of the Lord is a last trap set by the illusionary energy or Devi Maya. Even in the impersonal existence of the Lord, as it is the material creation, one should aspire for personal realization of the Lord, and that is the meaning of Paschad Aham Yad etakcha yo vashishyate so smiham. Smiham. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, you find that Srila Prabhupada has written very lengthy purports in this because these are very, very important verses. If one doesn't understand these verses, to understand Bhagavatam will be very difficult. And you should know that one of the missions of Srila Prabhupada is to present to the whole world that God is a person. First of all, to present God is there, and second is that He is a person. And that person is the most beautiful person, most opulent person in everywhere, and that is Krishna. So, in the beginning, Srila Prabhupada says, in some way that it is read, that the cause of everything is Brahma, which is also true, because absolute truth is many times also realized or called or referred to as Brahma. And when you say Brahma, then it can also mean impersonal, personal, or even localized. So in this verse, Brahma, Jyoti, means immediate cause from the Supreme. And always the Supreme remains a person. Supreme Personality of Godhead is not visible to our eyes because our eyes or our senses are not perfect. So even in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj says the effulgence of Krishna is called Brahma, from where the word comes, Brahma Jyoti. Now to many, those who think that God is an imperson, they worship that, and it is acceptable. There's nothing wrong. Many, many times we have this example of Surya or the sun. The sun is a person also, but we see it as a globe, a kind of a coin, a bright coin with our eyes. And everywhere we can see the effulgence of the sun in the daytime. But yet, who knows sun properly is one who knows the person, sun god, who is also called Surya Narayan. In the Bhagavad Gita is mentioned as Vivashwan. That is his name. So one has to have spiritual senses in order to see the Lord, because without which you cannot see the Lord. Just like if you want to see some important person, generally you have to follow the protocol. And you may be asked, who are you? Why do you want to see him? What is your relationship? And what is the reason you want to meet? In a similar way, when we ask all this, which the information is already given in the Srimad Bhagavatam, who is Krishna? And Brahma Samhita clearly explains this in one verse. Premanjunna churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadeva yudeshu vilokyanti yat shama sundar gunana rupam achintyam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Till one's eyes are not anointed with pure love, you cannot see Krishna. Our eyes are not anointed with love. Generally, our eyes have two things. One is material desires. Our eyes is looking everywhere. How will I fulfill my material desire? And the other one is dvesha. Dvesha means envy. Our eyes are full of these two things. When we see someone has something, we feel envious. And we think, I wish I had it. Or I want it. But when our eyes become purified by the practice of devotional service, especially by hearing and chanting regularly for a considerable time, then you can actually see the Lord. And it's not impossible. Srila Prabhupada says in a lecture, you can actually see the Lord if you practice devotional service. Because once one devotee asked that, can we see the Lord? He said, yes, you chant nicely and you see the Lord. So many times a question may be raised, have you seen the Lord? Some people can ask us. And the best answer to give is, our spiritual master has seen the God. Our Acharya has seen the Lord. And he's also seeing the Lord all the time. So we believe in our Acharya's words. So it means what our Acharya says, we follow him, we believe him. And we will be able to see him. So that verse should be remembered very nicely, that till our eyes are not anointed with love of Godhead, which leads Samadarshi. Samadarshi means an equal vision. In the Bhagavad Gita, in the 5th chapter, verse number 18, it says, Vidya Vinaya Sampade Brahmani Gavi Hastini Suni Cheva Sabatecha Pandita Samadarshina. Samadarshi means you have to be a Pandit. Pandit means you have to have the knowledge that Krishna in his Paramatma form is present in everyone. Be it a huge elephant, a dog eater, a dog, a leathered Brahmin, a tree, whatever it is, the Lord is present. If you have a Samadarshi, an equal vision like that, and if you add love on that, then it is possible to see the Lord. There's a small book in our list known as Narad Bhakti Sutra. I don't know how many of you have seen it or have read it. You'll find that it's very small book, but very compact, and you can get a lot of knowledge. Narad Bhakti Sutra is also considered to be the summary of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you read in one section, Sri Prabhupada comments that can we chant Hare Krishna or can we do hearing of Krishna while we are working? In most cases, the answer would come no. But really speaking, Narmur is encouraging even a working person or a person who is too busy in his activities, even he can engage in hearing and chanting. Because it's only by hearing and chanting Krishna reveals himself to us. So, in the purport, Sri Prabhupada explains, it needs a bit of love to do two things at the same time. You work at the same time, think of Krishna, or you hear about Krishna. Just like in the 8th chapter, verse number 7, Krishna tells Arjuna that even while performing a prescribed duty of fighting, think of me. Now that needs a practice. Immediately you can't do it. Just like all of us, I would say every one of us, when we become angry, all of a sudden, you think we can think of Krishna? Not possible. But if a person is accustomed to think of Krishna, even while becoming angry, he can think of Krishna. Because in fighting, especially for a Kshatriya, he has to use anger. He has to abuse the opponent, and then the fight will go on nicely. So, at that time also, if you practice, you can actually see Krishna. Now, Lord is always engaged in his beautiful pastimes all over the world. For example, sometimes people say, now Krishna is not here. Where is he? So the Bhagavatam answers that, and even Bhagavad Gita answers that when he is not here on this planet, it means he's on another planet. And he's performing his uncommon pastimes for the pleasure of his devotees. That means all the time, even Krishna is working, and people are with him, and people have seen him. Just like 5,000 years ago, when Krishna came here, there are people who actually saw him. There are people who lived with him. There are people who played with him. Just like the Gopas in the younger age, the coward boys, they played with Krishna. And the Bhagavatam explains that fortunate are these people, are these boys, who were originally the sages that they had performed, or they had gathered so much piety that they were able to play with Krishna. The gopis could dance with Krishna. The gopis had pastimes with Krishna. Mother Yashoda actually fed Krishna with her own milk. Nanda Maharaj saw Krishna. Devaki Vasudev saw Krishna. So we cannot say nobody saw Krishna. Krishna was seen and is proven. If you go to India even today, there are places where pastimes were performed. And many places are still existing there where Krishna performed his pastime. Similarly, at this particular time, Krishna is in Vaikuntha performing his pastimes with the people of Vaikunthas. And in Vaikuntha, it's not a small town or a small village. Vaikuntha is 3 times bigger than this entire material creation. It's called Tripada. Tripada means 3 times bigger. And there are 3 times more people there. And people, as per their desires, are serving Krishna. Those who want to serve Krishna with awe and reverence and accept Krishna in his opulent form as Narayan, there is an abode where they can go. There are people who want to serve Krishna in the Ayodhya Leela as Ramachandra. They can go there. As Nashinga Leela, they want to be with Lord Nashinga. It is still there. And as you go still beyond, then there's Dwarka Dham, where people want to serve Krishna as a king, Dwarka as Dwarkadesh. And still there is Gokul, where you can actually see with Mother Yashoda and Nand Maharaj. And still higher, you can see in the Krishna Lord, Radha and Krishna. So it's as per your desire, you can go there. But this cannot say, nobody can deny that at this time Krishna is not with his associates. He is there. And the whole aim of Bhakti Yoga is that one day we become an associate of Krishna, serving him directly or indirectly, or in any way which we want to serve. And Krishna will definitely fulfill our desires. Just like 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? Tuesday, yeah. We celebrated the passing of Haridas Thakur. I don't know if you remember. So on that day, we read about how Haridas Thakur passed away. Now, before passing, he had already requested just 2 days before and told Mahaprabhu that please come in front of me and I will give up my body in front of me by chanting your holy name. It's very sad, emotional verses. It can make you cry, but it is true. And in the purport, Prabhupada explains, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly tells him that if you have a desire like this, Krishna will fulfill it. And Krishna did fulfill it. That when he was passing, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did come in front of him, and Haridas Thakur put his eyes focused on the face of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he left his body by chanting Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, like that. And he left his body. And what happened after that, most of you know what happened. But anyway, even Bhishmapita had the desire to see Krishna before dying. And Krishna did appear in front of Bhishma. So for pure devotees, Krishna appears like Srila Prabhupada. When he's leaving, he also left like Bhishmapita. He's on his deathbed. He's still preaching, instructing our society, and he leaves his body. So these are examples we have how they left the body because they had a desire to perform certain activities, either to see Krishna or to serve Krishna. And Prabhupada is the finest example that even while leaving the body is serving Krishna. So that's what Sri Prabhupada is explaining, that Krishna is always performing pastimes. Now you cannot perform pastimes if you are an impersonal. You have to be a person. For example, it's your birthday, and maybe your father is, in an overseas country. So if he wants to be with you, then he has to come and attend your birthday party. Or these days, maybe on a mobile phone, you can see on a video or something. But even in a video, you'll see a person. It's not that it is impersonal. The aim of this very first verse, or the root verse, verse number 33, Aham eva esha avagre. This verse actually explains that I was there, I am here, and I will be there. So it's always a person, it's not an impersonal. And here Srila Prabhupada gives an example, like the head of state. He may be in his state house, like in Nairobi or in his office, but he is present impersonally in all the ministries because everything is working under his direction. That's another example. It's not that you go to the office of Minister of Education and you don't see the president. Then you say, oh, I have not seen the president. But he's still there. I mean, he's there in an impersonal way because he controls everything by his laws, rules, and regulations. So, Lord Krishna is visible to the Vaikuntha-vasis, but he is visible to us in an impersonal way, just like chanting Hare Krishna seems to be impersonal, but as you chant, it becomes personal. How? Because then naturally, if you chant for quite some time, at least for a few years, you can actually feel the presence of Krishna. And there are devotees who can actually see Krishna, like the 6 Goswamis. They could actually see Krishna eye to eye, not just in front of them. They can even know what Krishna is doing, even in Vaikuntha. Like Rupa Goswami, he could see what is happening in Vaikuntha, which proves that the Lord is performing pastimes everywhere. Here the word used is nirashta kuhukam. Yet Krishna performs an illusion. So if a person is in illusion, he will never accept the Lord to be a person or even an imperson. He thinks he's not there. Then if he improves a little or engages in devotional service or is an association of a pure devotee, there's a possibility that the illusion can be removed. So remember the word kuhukam, which appears in the opening verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam, that Krishna places into illusion the demigods and even the great sages. Even we are put into illusion practically so many times in a day. Because we remember Krishna maybe few hours or few minutes a day. Unless those who are engaged in devotional service 24 hours, they can feel the presence of Krishna throughout the day. So the Vedas accept both the personal feature and the impersonal feature. If you go to the 5th canto, then if you hear one of the teachings of Lord Rishabh, in one of the teachings he said, one should be respectful to both the devotees, whether they are personalist or impersonalist. This is the instruction of Lord Rishabh Dev. And also, in the Bhagavad Gita, if you go to the 14th chapter, the final verse, sometimes this verse is also considered to be the essence of the whole Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because he says, Brahmano hi pratishtaham. Brahmano means this absolute truth, which you may call it to be impersonal, it is still dependent on him. I'll read the translation. And I am the basis of the impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness. So even if you are an impersonalist, and if you like to worship the impersonal Brahman, it is the source of ultimate happiness. What is the evidence? The evidence is the 4 Kumaras. The 4 Kumaras, before they met Narad, they used to meditate about the impersonal Brahman. And Narad Muni asked them that what do you get by worshipping the Brahmajyoti? He said, we get immense happiness. And we are very, very happy worshipping them. And later on, by Narad Muni's association, they become personalists. But formerly, they were impersonalists. So, in most parts of the Vedas, Krishna is present as a person and still is used, Srila Prabhupada uses the language in the confidential parts. For example, if you are reading Bhagavad Gita regularly, as you near towards the end of Bhagavad Gita, before we come to the verse, Man Mana Bhava Bhaktato, Srila Prabhupada uses the 3 words, confidential knowledge, more confidential knowledge, and the most confidential knowledge. Now, the confidential knowledge is the knowledge of Brahman. More confidential knowledge is the knowledge of Paramatma. And the most confidential knowledge is the realization of Krishna as a person, for which 2 particular verses are there. 65 and 66. Anybody remember 65? 1865, very famous verse. Anybody likes to try without looking at Bhagavad Gita? What is 1865? Prashanatma, where are you?
Manmana Bhavamakto.
Yes. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Mam eva shasi satyamte pratijana priyoshi. Think of me, become my devotee, worship me, surrender to me. And then 66 is sarva dharma parintaja. Mam ekam. Ekam means me. Ekam also means me, myself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, if you compare, if you go as per Srila Prabhupada's teachings, then there is confidential knowledge, more confidential knowledge, and the most confidential knowledge. So, if you know Krishna as a person, then that is the most confidential knowledge. Even I, when I joined ISKCON, I was very new in ISKCON. I was very attracted to the deity. I would come and see the deity daily. And later on, I was also given the service of deity. And I used to think, if I'm doing deity worship, then I think chanting is included. Then why are we told to chant? You see, this question used to come to me. Of course, I used to chant after I got initiation, even before getting initiation. But now I realize why chanting is more important. Because it is by chanting you'll remember the deity. You'll serve the deity better. And you can actually feel the presence of Krishna when you are chanting Hare Krishna. So the Hare Krishna chanting will actually enhance our remembrance of Krishna in everywhere. In the deity form, in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the form of the presence of Krishna, in his pure devotees, and many, many other ways, in the Tulsi, and so on. So chanting became more and more important as the years went by. And now chanting has become like a natural natural activity of our day-to-day life. You wake up, you're going to chant Hare Krishna. You go to sleep, you're going to chant Hare Krishna. And behind chanting Hare Krishna is not just words, it's the personal Krishna. He is there and looking after you, maintaining you and protecting you. So sometimes the Mayavadis, they use this example of the pot. If you're accustomed to hear Prabhupada, he calls this Gatakas. There's a pot is called Gataka. Gataka means earthen pot. I don't know if you've seen the earthen pot. Now, earthen pot, if you place many and fill water in them, and then if you put it in the daytime, especially if there is sunlight, or even if there is no sunlight in the daytime, you can see the reflection of the sun in all the Gatakas. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is explaining the meaning of this pot. That Gatakas may explain the Lord's all-pervasive nature. Yes, Krishna, just like the sky is present in all the spots in the form of reflection, Krishna is present in all of us as Paramatma. So this analogy sometimes Mayavad is used in another way. They say if you break the pots, then the sun which you are seeing in the pot or the sky you are seeing in the pot, it mixes with the sky. But from the very beginning, it was never there. And sometimes people get cheated. They think that when you die, when you give up your body, you become one with Krishna. No. You don't become one with Krishna. This is against our Vaishnava understanding. Vaishnava understanding is that right now you are a person. And even if you go to Vaikuntha, you'll still remain a person. If you read the purport of the Bhaktyamama Vichanati, 18th chapter, Prabhupada gives an example of a green bird. If a green bird, like a parrot, sometimes they are green parrots, if they go and sit on a green tree, like a mango tree, the birds seem to have become one with the tree. No, it doesn't become one. Looks or seems to have become one. The tree retains its individuality and the bird also retains its individuality. I think in the same verse in the previous purport, Srila Prabhupada uses a famous verse, Nitya Nityanam Chetnas Chetnanam Eka Bahunam Vidadati Kaman, that the Lord is individual and we are individuals, but He is a supreme individual. Lord is conscious, even we are conscious, but He is supremely conscious. It is He who gives all of us consciousness. It is He who has given birth to us. Because He says, I am the seed-giving Father. That also verse appears in the 14th chapter and also in the 7th chapter. He says, I am the generating seed of all the existences. So in both the verses, Krishna is a person, and not only a person, he is the supreme father of all living entities, which also includes Brahma and also includes Shiva and all the demigods. Now, Srila Prabhupada also say that one should still not think in a Mayavadi way, that soul, because it's also having the quality of Satchit Ananda, knowledge, eternity, and bliss, so that one day it will merge and become supreme. No, it doesn't. Nowhere it is supported in the entire Vedas. It's only the Mayavadis who come with these ideas that you become one with Narayan. You are Narayan, one day you become Narayan, or you merge into Narayan. Such kind of an idea is not entertained anywhere in any scriptures because there's no proof as such. The very teaching of Bhagavad Gita begins with a very famous verse. Anybody remembers what is the first verse? I'm not talking about the first verse of the Bhagavad Gita. I am talking about the first verse taught to Arjuna. Anybody remembers this verse? Kritika Mataji, do you remember? Which is the opening verse Krishna teaches to Arjuna. I'll give you a hint. It speaks about him, Arjun, and kings. What is that verse? Krishnatma, you remember? Okay, I'll speak the verse. Never was there a time. Oh, you want to speak, Krishnatma?
Yes, Prabhu. Okay, I just opened it, but yes.
Yeah, what is the verse?
Near the 212 says, never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be.
Cease to be, yes. So Krishna speaks of the individuality in this verse. Krishna says, I, Arjun means you, and all these kings were there, are here, and we will be there. So don't forget this. The whole Bhagavad Gita begins this teaching to Arjuna. So it means we are individuals. We were individuals, we are individuals, we will still remain individuals even when we reach Vaikuntha. Let's say if some of us become fortunate, maybe one of us become fortunate, and we become a coward boy to join Krishna, we will remain as a coward boy and we'll join Krishna and enjoy the pastimes of Krishna if you have that desire. If you want to become his father or mother like Yashoda and Namaraj, and if you qualify by worshipping Nan Maharaj and Yashoda, then you become competent to serve Krishna in that way in Vaikuntha. Or if you want to become a tree in Vaikuntha, acceptable. If you want to become water like Yamuna in Vaikuntha, because there is Yamuna in Vaikuntha, you can become water there. So as per your desire, the important thing is we never lose our individuality. We were there, we are there, and we will be there. Don't forget that. There are many people I've seen, even some of my old friends, they used to tell me, oh, when we die, we go and become one with God. They have no idea who's God, but they know at least this much, that we will become one. But that also is a Mayavadi philosophy. It's only after coming to this country, Prabhupada makes it very, very clear that we don't merge into Krishna. Often people quote the example of Shishupal, because when Shishupal was killed, a bright light or his soul entered into Krishna. But Prabhupada says, no, it did not enter into Krishna. It entered into the effulgence of Krishna, not into the body of Krishna. So some of these fine technical details should be remembered, especially if you are a serious student of Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. And then he says, the word kuhakam means illusion. It's an illusion to think that I'll become one with the Lord, or I have become the Lord. Because when a person is completely illusion, he thinks that I am the God or the Lord of all I survey. I am the supreme enjoyer. And he thinks himself to have become Krishna. But this is, Prabhupada calls this the last snare of Maya. It means you are completely into illusion. Then only you can think like that, and which is absolutely wrong. And if you think like that, you will never engage in devotional service, nor will you be able to chant Hare Krishna. Not possible. Because if you have such a kind of a notion or an idea, how will you engage in devotion? So in devotional service, you need two parties, yourself and Krishna. That means there has to be a servitor and there has to be served. Savior and Sevak. Savior is Krishna, Sevak is you. And in between the transaction is called Bhakti Yoga. There can't be Bhakti if this relationship is broken, or if you're an illusion, you may think I have become Krishna. No, that is foolishness. Yes, you can become Krishna Das, but not Krishna. Or Ram Das, but not Krishna, not Ram. So anyway, the conclusion is that the whole paragraph is trying to encourage us that please engage in devotional service and aspire to see Krishna, and you will see Krishna. Definitely see Krishna. But on the other hand, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj says that if you perform your devotional service very nicely, very rigidly, with a lot of faith, love, and devotion, Krishna will come to see you. You don't have to see Krishna. Krishna will actually come to see you. And it is true. There are devotees who have seen Krishna, or Krishna came to see them. And many examples are given in the Bhagavatam. And if you go to the Vedas, many examples are there. And many examples amongst our pure devotees, Vaishnava devotees, that you actually, see Krishna. But don't forget the verse of Lord Brahma. He says, till your eyes are not anointed with the love of Godhead, you cannot see him. Prem Anjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. Prem Anjan, Prema ointment what we call. In Hindi, they call it kajal, isn't it? If you anoint your eyes look beautiful and makes your eyes look cool. In the similar way, you have to anoint your eyes with pure love. Give up all the impurities from your heart. And no impurities of your heart can't go away if you are not engaged in devotional service. We were discussing this point where last week in a class where they said how to remove envy. Envy is most difficult to remove because practically all of us are envious in the material world. Even there is envy amongst even in our devotees who are not very nice. They say, oh, how come he does so nicely? How come she does so nicely? That is an envy. How to remove envy is only by engaging in devotional service, not otherwise. So anyway, the purport aims, or the paragraph aims to tell us that engage in devotional service, not in an impersonal way, but in a personal way. Accepting Krishna in a personal way. I'll give you another example that we have a very nice center in Radhadesh. I don't know if you know Radhadesh. Holland, yeah? Is it Holland or Belgium? I think Belgium. So just opposite of the temple is in a kind of an old castle. And opposite the castle, there's a church. And sometimes those people come to our temple. And sometimes our people also go to visit. There's a very friendly relationship. So in the temple, there is a picture, there's a murti of Jesus, they keep in the churches, nice, beautiful. So the devotees became very close to them. So once they were dressing Krishna, one of them made an idea that we will also dress Jesus. And when Jesus was dressed, they felt so good. Now imagine if the murti of Jesus was not there, how can you dress him? So if you think God is not a person, how will you dress him? How will you feed him? How will you touch his feet? Not possible. It's easier to worship God or Krishna if you take the personal feature. Even Arjuna asked the same question in the 12th chapter. Whom should I worship, person or an imperson? Krishna says either, but worship Krishna as a person, worship the absolute truth as a person, easier and more faster you'll reach me. Even impersonal you can reach, but it will take you very long. And the rules and regulations worship in an impersonal way are very, very serious and difficult. Whereas in a personal way, it's very easy. Imagine you have love for Krishna, just cook sweet rice, put a tulsi inside and offer to Krishna. He will accept it. So easy. So many examples are given. So the whole verse is explaining, Krishna is saying, I'll repeat the verse for you. It was I, Krishna says. Krishna is talking to Brahma personally. Imagine, Brahma, it is I, the personality of Godhead, who was existing before the creation when there was nothing but myself, nor was there the material nature, the cause of this creation. That which you see now is also I, the personality of Godhead. And after annihilation, what remains will also be I, the personality of God. So the verse is very clear. And that is the basis. These are the 4 basic verses of Bhagavatam. The root verses, or the whole Bhagavatam is based on these 4 truths. So I'll end up here. Any questions, any additions, or if you like to add?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you so much for today's session. I have few doubts. Prabhuji, when Brahmaji was born, and then he didn't see anybody and he just saw darkness, and then he had to go down the lotus, and then he had tapa, 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 and then he did the tapa, and then he saw Krishna. So can we use this analogy that even Brahma could not see a Krishna without doing tapa?
Yes.
So without doing tapa, you will not be able to see Krishna. So it is very important that you...
We should also know what the word tapa means. Tapa means sense control. Without tapa, you can't get sense control. For example, for those devotees who fasted on Ekadashi or Janmashtami, you'll find that our focus will remain on Krishna. Because senses are controlled. When the stomach is hungry, you're going to think of that subject, which is very dear to you, especially Krishna on the Janmashtami day, or on Ram Navami, or on Radhashtami, maybe half a day. So in the similar way, tapa, this is made very clear by Lord Rishabdev. He says, Nayam deha deho bhajam nirloke, tapo divyam putraka jena, sudeta satyam. Tapo divyam, tapa. Tapa means controlling your senses. You have to give some voluntary pain to your senses to control them. And when you control them, then you can see Krishna. First in the heart. Lord Rishabh says, you can get that happiness even within from your heart. Is it okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, can you please again explain the pot and the sky analogy, not the Mayavadi, but...
No, it's also good to understand the Mayavadi, because Srila Prabhupada gives this in the purport of Bhagavad Gita. The same analogy. He says, Katakash, Katakash. In Gujarati, we say Gado, Gado, isn't it? Gada. In Hindi, Sanskrit is called Kataka. Now, Kataka, if you fill them many with water, and then you put them out in open, and if there's sun, you can see the reflection of the sun. If you put them out at night, you can see the reflection of moon if the moon is there. So the Mayavadi says that we are like these gatakas. And when you break the gatakas, then of course the water will spill away and that reflection will be gone, will be disturbed, in other words, and we'll become one with the Lord. This is Mayavadi explanation, but Sri Prabhupada says no. If you read the purport, it says, you can put pots with water and see the stars. And if there's a moon, you can even see the moon. Means moon is there and the stars are there. The moon refers to Krishna, the stars refers to us. So that same analogy can be used in that way. Is it okay?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, how would you explain to a non-devotee or who doesn't know anything about Krishna that Krishna is a person?
Okay. Sri Prabhupada says in a very easy way, ask the person, is your father a person? Of course, he'll say yes. Is your grandfather a person? If he's living, yes. Grandfather, a person. It will go right up to Brahma. Brahma is also a person because God makes it very clear that you are born from me. And whose son is Brahma? Is Krishna's son. That is an easiest way to explain. Yes, Sandhya Mataji, can you ask? You raise your hand.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, and Hare Krishna, all devotees. Prabhuji, so we are going to be given another body when we go there, is that right?
Yes, that will be a transcendental body. If you go to Vaikuntha, that is your eternal body, which you left there.
Oh, and that is why we will require food there and everything.
Everything will be supplied. When you're transcendental body, you don't need food. Transcendental body doesn't feel hungry.
Because
But
Prabhuji will describe it, isn't it, that there will be so much milk and there'll be so much food.
Yes. Fruits,
so
everything will be there. But all transcendental.
But we don't require all this. Why is the need for milk and things over there then?
Well, milk is because it pleases Krishna. So he'll take milk, we'll make some preparation and offer to Krishna in Vaikuntha. Do you cook for Krishna, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Whatever I cook, I
offer to Krishna,
so,
yeah?
Yeah.
So if you go to Vaikuntha, you need the ingredients to cook for Krishna. So you'll get the same duty in Vaikuntha if you reach there. Do you make kheer? I mean, the sweet rice?
Sometimes I make kheer, Prabhuji, yeah.
Sweet rice is very, very dear to Krishna and also to Balaram. So
okay,
you eternally become, I mean, if you go on practicing Krishna consciousness, when you leave your body, you will reach there, and there also you'll cook for Krishna and Balaram, and you'll be able to offer sweet kheer. I mean, sweet rice.
Radha Rani will have to improve my recipe, Prabhuji.
You'll be working under her, so no problem.
Yes.
She's a very
Thank
kind
you,
person. She's not an angry person. She'll assist you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
And there the system is, after, even if you have cooked sweet rice, you have to pass it on to Radharani, and then Radharani will give it to Krishna. Okay, anybody else has a question?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So at present, we are just offering Guru Parampara, and then Srila Prabhupada, he offers it directly to Krishna.
Yes, in the material world, we offer it to the spiritual master, who offers it to the Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada offers to his Guru, and this way the Parampara is linked to the 6 Goswamis. 6 Goswamis offer to Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu offers to the Gopis, Gopis offer to Krishna. Dasa, 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 Dasa. Soul is considered herself to be a very small servant of Krishna. But don't say that you are impersonal. There's a very big, such kind of a concept among the Hindu community. Oh, I am nothing. Oh, never say that you are nothing. You are something. You are a servitor of Krishna. When you say nothing, it means you are trying to say you are a ghost. We are not ghosts. We are living beings. civilized living beings. Why we are civilized? Because at least we are accepting the supremacy of Krishna and the instructions of Krishna. So don't say I am nothing. I am something. Maybe I'm small. That is a better understanding. Okay. No more questions. Then we can close the session.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Path Prabhu, are you able to close the session for today? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for your nice and wonderful class. It is my apologies. I not joined since a long time. So today I get chance in the Bhadra Purnima. And when I saw you, so although I have so many engagement also there to meet some people, but I leave that one. I think I will attend your.
Were you able to distribute any Bhagavatam today?
Not Prabhuji, not doing.
Okay, good news. I was able to distribute 3 Bhagavatams today.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
We have received 3 donations for our Eldoret Center.
Good. One was a donation I sold, so it means 3.
All right, good.
Because I prayed to Bhakti Bihari that I must sell a Bhagavatam today. So I just called some people on the phone and they agreed.
Oh. Nice.
And when is the temple starting in Eldoret?
Yes, Prabhuji, only on that way, maybe 2 months, after 2 months we'll start.
When you start after 2 months, remember you call me, I'll send you the first check of not a big amount, 100,000 in the name of my mother. For the
thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Also, we missed that day. In Bhumi Pujan day.
I know, but
yes.
I had to stay behind. Everybody had gone.
Yeah, everybody gone.
And I would have come, but even Hetu Chaitanya became very sick. He was known to sit in the office the whole day. I had to sit the entire day. I also had to do both the day's programs, including class, including Aarti, everything.
All right. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, one question is that, like Sandhya Mataji asked, if there is a personal feature, we know Krishna is the personal, and we are believe also in Gaudiya Vaishnava, they are believe in the personal features. They are not impersonal like Brahman. But the thing is that if everybody is transcendental, they are in the Golak Vrindavan, then why you are cooking for the Krishna? Krishna also not hungry. Also, we are not hungry. Here we are cooking because we are offering bhog, then we are eating. But
Krishna is the supreme person. Remember that in the Golok Vrindavan. And we are all his servitors. So we are all serving Krishna. It's not that Krishna is not hungry. Krishna is never hungry, but at the same time, Krishna is hungry of your love. And the love is given in the form of food, in the services, in many, many ways. And there's a nice example in Chaitanya Charitamrita that all the devotees would bring preparation for Mahaprabhu. So one day, one devotee asked Sarup Damodar, was it Sarup Damodar or Govinda, that some devotees are asking that did you eat his preparation or her preparation? It means you may have eaten somebody else and others you might have eaten. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told them, okay, tell them to bring as much as they can. Tomorrow, I'll eat all of them. So the next day, all the devotees brought so many preparations. Mahaprabhu went into the room. He ate all of it, not leaving even one grain of rice. And then all the devotees were satisfied. He said, yes, he eats all of our Krishna. That's the same principle is in Vaikuntha. For example, like Jagannath Puri, you can't say Krishna is hungry, but the love is shown by offering him 56 varieties in each offering, chapan ball. So we can't say Krishna is hungry, but that is the vow we had given to the king Indrayumna, that my mouth should never remain clean. I should be eating all the time. That is Jagannath. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your nice and wonderful class. Also, I thank all the devotees here. Also, I introduce our Eldoret Pujari, His Grace Asim Prabhu, Asim Gaurdas, he is also here, and I told them today also, please join because it's a very nice class.
Prem
Hopefully
Prakash,
he will.
he can show his face on the screen then.
Yeah, Asim Gaur Prabhu, if possible, we can
Gaur
open the video.
You can put on your camera. No, we are not seeing him. He's feeling shy or what?
Okay.
Hare Krishna
Maybe-
Prabhuji.
Maybe next time Asim Gaur Prabhu ji maybe some
Okay.
Seva or something.
All right.
Thank you all the devotees here. Oh, Prabhuji is here. Okay.
Oh, he's here. Hare Krishna
Hare-
Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Thank you so much for your wonderful class. I really understood the points you have spoken, that the Mayavadi's point. I love it too much. I will continue your classes joining.
Thank you.
So thank you very much all the
Shall
devotees
we
here.
chant Haribol to welcome Prabhuji to our class? Asim
Yes,
Gaur
yes.
Prabhuji, shall we chant 3 times? Haribol.
Hari Bol.
Haribol.
Haribol.
Haribol. Haribol.
Haribol.
Thank you very much, all the devotees here. I request everyone, please unmute yourself and chant Hare Krishna mantra for glorification of His Grace Rukma Prabhuji. Please join. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grace.
Vachakar
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
Krishna Thakur
श्रील
ki.
प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai.
कृष्ण प्रभु की जय।
Jai.
हरे
Hare Krishna.
हरि बोल।
Thank you, Asim Gaur Prabhuji. Please join every day. It is the same link, same time. Every day we have different speakers. You will enjoy this. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण हरि बोल।
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.